What's up, guys? This is Keck of the Week.
Oh, you sound very excited.
I lost passion in the sentence. But anyways.
Whole Max isn't here anymore.
Yeah,
So back to the usual routine.
yeah, back to the usual. I'm so glad he's not here anymore, but anyways.
Thank God.
I know he's going to listen to this. But host, Frank, co-host.
Javi.
About fucking time you introduced yourself. So, we were just talking about how, dude, we fucking did, this is the 4th episode. Honestly, I thought you weren't going to show up after the second one. Like, I for sure knew you weren't going to fucking do it. And, like, originally, I wanted you guys to edit it, just because you had, like, the FL Studio, and, like, or, I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Well, I don't have anything.
Well, I thought you had, like, editing software, and, like,
I know how to edit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
don't have software.
I didn't know how to fucking edit.
Well, not now you know.
Well, yeah, I had to learn a crash course, basically, on how to do
YouTube 101.
Yeah, Google searched it, but fuck. Honestly, if I would have left it to you, Javier, no video would ever be uploaded.
Oh, fuck you, no. I've been dedication on this shit.
My fucking ass.
No.
You came in today and you're like, wait, we have to record? I don't want to record.
Oh, I don't think it was a week. We say it's Keck of the Week. More it's like it's Keck of whenever we feel like recording. So what's been the Keck of the Week? Why is it
okay.
called
Stop fucking calling me out on each time.
Alright.
Last week's Keck was Alexis, the guy with the small dick. Remember Max's story?
Alexis?
Yeah. The fat.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Show me your penis.
Show me your dick, dude.
Show me the dick.
Week 1 was, I don't know.
I think the podcast itself was the Keck of that week.
Yeah, and then week 2 there
It was also that podcast itself was Keck of the week.
There were no Kecks. That shit got pretty serious.
Oh, yeah. So you were just woken up, huh?
Yeah, that was when I just...
Did you call in that day?
No, I want to work.
You went to work, savage.
Yeah. So, anyways, I got a topic.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
I got
for
a
the
topic.
first time ever. Oh, shit.
I didn't write it down,
Oh,
but I
all right.
remembered it.
All right.
So, you're going through finals, Javier?
No.
Alright, this has been the Keck of the Week podcast. Your host, Frank.
Did that ruin
and
it?
Javier. We're signing out. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, fuck you, man.
Okay, it was last week, so what's going on with you?
Wait, you already finished your finals?
I did. My finals finished the week before you because they're all online, so...
Fuck. Okay, well that legit ruined my topic. That I
Alright,
was
just... Okay,
really
let's
banking on.
Alright, let's pretend I'm still in my finals. What's
Okay,
going on?
well, I mean, like, how did you prep? Because a lot of people are going through finals. You know,
Yeah.
people have high school or college. We're in college.
Oh, high school fires are just...
I mean...
They're not real fires. They're just
They're still going through finals.
This is the last test of the week, so it's like, nah. How did I prep?
Yeah.
I remember I spent a lot of time thinking, how much effort do I need to put into these finals? Because I looked at my grades and I just kind of compared to, like, do I want to have a good grade, or do I just kind of want to meme this test or this project just so I can get a decent grade? And depending on which course I was in, that's how much effort I put in. Whatever course I felt the more passion for, that's the one I put more emphasis on.
Which course was that you put more
That would
passion?
be accounting, just because that is my major.
Mm.
And then I also put effort into music appreciation. It's not my major, but I enjoyed the course. And then also interpersonal communication. That was also pretty cool.
I enjoyed you taking me to a musical concert for your class.
It was Symphonie Fantastique by Berlioz.
Even though, like, my nose...
Hector Berlioz.
My nose was infected at that point. Like, my piercing just got really
I remember I didn't know what to expect. I just, like, I walk in and I'm like, I'm expecting this to be, like, very bad. And did you enjoy it? Because I thought it was pretty cool.
I thought the place was really cool. Honestly,
yeah, they put a lot of effort into, like, decorations and stuff. Like, we also went there during Halloween time.
Yeah.
But it was still pretty cool because they had all these witches. You know, they were all dressed up as witches, and they had, like, those candlesticks on each corner of the room. So I thought it was pretty cool. It added into the ambiance.
The whole show in general, I'm not gonna lie, I was falling asleep by the end of it.
It was a long day,
and
though.
I
Like,
really
that was
wanna go
like
sleep.
around 7 or 8, and we sat through 3 hours of classical music.
Yeah. Prior to that, we
We had been
went
hanging out that
shopping
day
and
since like
shit,
noon or
so-
something like that. So we spent like 7 hours doing all of that, and then we went to the classical.
Oh yeah, and the day prior I didn't sleep. So actually, that was on Saturday.
We went on a Saturday.
So I slept Thursday night. That was the last time I slept because I did an all-nighter on Friday to get my shit updated. And then legit the second I updated, we left. And fucking we did that whole shit. So yeah, I didn't sleep for like 2 days. And
It was a long
fascinating.
day. We also watched movies. You remember we went to the movie theater? We watched
Saw was pretty.
we
Jigsaw.
watched Jigsaw.
Yeah.
And Jigsaw was pretty damn titties. It's all the blood porn you could ever ask for.
Yeah, the best girl with the tattoos. The ginger one.
I like the final contraption, which they have laser beams attached to their necks, and it just like rips the guy's head off.
Spoiler.
Dude, if you haven't watched Jigsaw by now,
I mean, before we segue into movies,
Mm.
but like, what'd you do specifically to prep for your finals?
what I usually do is I always have notes written down, and I say just study, but what I really do is I just kind of I put more emphasis on the more important stuff rather than the smaller stuff. For example, like for accounting, usually for my courses, they tell me ahead of time this is what the final is going to be about, and whatever it is that they mentioned that it's going to be about, that is what I study on, and then I just kind of ask myself questions over the subject and see if I can answer it. So as I'm like studying and like reviewing whatever it is that we did that semester, before I start reading, I ask myself, what do I know about the subject, and I write it down, and then I read whatever it is that I was asking myself for, and I just compare what the book says versus what my notes say, and see how accurate it was.
How often do you study, or how often do you study?
Usually the day before. That's what I do. I cramp all the information the day before I take the test.
Okay.
Because I could study every day, and it probably is better because you spend a whole week studying this material. But what I do, I study the night before, and I cramp all the information in. And, like, you know, in high school, they tell you, like, you're not supposed to cramp in all the information the night before. It's like, you're going to forget a lot of it. Not for me. So they can fuck off. That's what I did every time. I just cramped all the information in, and I just took the test, and for some reason, it just worked for me.
Yeah, I just cheat.
Oh,
I don't study.
dude. Okay, I have this one story.
I'm
Right?
just
I
kidding.
actually cheated on a test.
Recently?
I shit you not. No, this happened last year. So this was the math course, right? And I think it was like mid-semester. I was just like, I was feeling out of it. Like, you know, you have those moments in school where you're just like, you don't care.
I'm currently going through that.
Yeah, it's been going on for a couple of semesters, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, just this semester.
This semester?
Yeah.
Well, and for me, it was just like a couple of weeks where I was like really tired, and I just didn't feel like showing up to school. So we have this one unit test, and I showed up to like maybe 2 out of like the 8 classes we had.
Hell yeah, man.
And what I did was I just talked to the classmates I had, and I just asked them what we went over, and I just read those notes, and I read the chapters for it, and I just kind of studied on my own. And then when I sat down and take the actual test, I realized I knew jack shit about the unit. So I was like, shit, fuck, I'm going to get such a bad grade on this. And I got like really fucking scared, and I remember like sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm going through the questions that I know, and the questions I don't know, and in each one of the questions, she had in parentheses how many points each question was worth. And on top, it showed, you know, blank out of like, let's say like 60 points or something.
Yeah.
So I just counted how many answers I knew were right, and I think I would have scored like probably like a 15% or something like that. Like, there was so many questions I did not know.
Damn.
So I was like, shit, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like, if I turn this in now, like, it's going to be a shit grade. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to cheat. But how do I cheat? Because we have our teacher literally there, and then we had another dude monitoring our tests per request from our instructor. So I'm like, fuck, I can't pull out my book, you know. I don't know what to do. And I was sweating, dude. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a shit grade if I do nothing. All right. So this is what I did. So I waited for everybody to start leaving.
Yeah.
And then I left whenever like a couple of people left at the same time. So I would leave with them. Hopefully I was going to go unnoticed. So I left. And I went into the bathroom.
Okay.
So in this course, you take the test. And this was a different branch from the school where it's located at. This is basically like the teacher is... We see her through a TV screen because she's like... actually like an hour and a half away. So you finish taking the test and you take it to the office and they would fax it to her.
Okay.
What I did was I took my stuff as if I was going to go turn in the test. But what I actually did, I went into the bathroom.
Did you take someone's test?
I took my stuff. I took my books. I took my notes. I went to the bathroom and I was like, okay, shit, there are 3 people back there. I need to get as many questions down as I can. And then hopefully... nobody notices that I hadn't turned it in yet. All right, so I go to the restroom and I'm like in the toilet seat, and I'm clutching my test, and I'm clutching my book, and I'm just like scribbling all the answers I can. Like I have to learn the actual stuff and then apply it to the test. I didn't even know what
I don't know if that's considered cheating. That's just you learning it.
No, but the thing is, like, I took the actual test and then I just grabbed my book and then I just started solving the questions.
I would just Google searched it. And just been like, what's whatever times whatever.
No, but the book, it was easier just how the book was laid out. But I remember doing that. I remember just like sweating. Like I was actually sweating. I was so nervous. And I was so worried that like the last student had already gone to the office to get the test faxed out, that if I walked out there and like they saw me and like, because they always ask the last student, is there anybody else in the room? And I was so worried that the last student was out there and they would have said, there's nobody else. And then I'd come out of the bathroom, then I had to have my test in. And then she's like, I would picture myself in the situation in which they would ask me, the student said there was still a student taking a test. And where the fuck were you? And I was so fucking scared. So I remember, like, I gotta finish this now. And I did as many questions as I could. I think I had like one more page left, so I just decided not to do it, just so I can hand this out. Like, I'd rather get as many points as I can now than try to finish all of it and then get caught with it and get nothing.
Okay.
So I peek out of the bathroom door. First thing I do is like, all right, I'm not gonna walk out just now because I didn't want to risk running into anybody. So what I do is I peeked out. I look into the hallway where my room is at, and there's nobody there. And I peek to the office. I'm trying to see if there's a shimmer lighting in the distance. Oh, God! There was a fucking student that was taking the test with me. And she was there talking to the office people. Like, I don't know what she was doing there. And she was just, like, fucking...
stalling, dude.
No, she was stalling. She was, like, legit. Like, she knew I was in the fucking bathroom or something. Because
dude, what a goddess.
she would not stop talking. And it was annoying as shit. And I was so scared. And then I look into the other side of the hallway. And somebody walks out of the room. And I'm so scared that that's the last student. And I'm just freaking out at this point. Like, I go back into the bathroom. I just start crying. I'm just like, oh, God, I'm going to get 0 points for this.
Did you actually start crying?
No, I wanted to. I was more scared than actually crying. But, like, had I been a woman, I probably would have cried.
If your estrogen was just a little bit higher. Just a tad.
If I had that extra X chromosome, maybe I would have cried. I just remember just, like, walking back and forth, pacing myself. And I remember, like, some dude just walking into the bathroom. And, like, I hide the paper. And, like, so bad. So, like, you can hear the paper flickering. And I was like, fuck. But, you know, it's college. I'm pretty sure most people don't give a shit if you're cheating or not.
Yeah.
So I just remember, like, alright, I need to wait this chick out. Because if she sees me walk out of the bathroom, like, the distance between the office and the bathroom is, like, 10 feet.
Yeah.
If anything. It's, like, really close. So I was hoping she was going to leave because, and also the way the office is angled, that they can't really see who walks out of the men's bathroom. So I'm just praying that there's an opening in which no one comes out of the classroom and the bitch leaves the fucking office. So I'm just waiting, and as soon as she leaves, I walk out. And almost as, like, a gift from God, like, I handed...
She gets an aneurysm.
No.
Oh.
I handed my test. I write in my name. I give it to her. And she asks me, is there someone else taking a test?
And you're like, dude, I don't know.
I did not know to answer if yes or no.
You could have fucked someone else.
Because I could have fucked myself. If I said yes and there wasn't anyone in the fucking room, I would have been caught right then and there. So I just stalled for a second. Almost, I was just kind of like putting shit in my bag, just kind of pretending she didn't ask me that. And then in the corner of my eye, I see somebody walking out of that classroom, and he had his attest. I knew he was in my class, and I was like, I pretended I didn't see him, and I said, yeah, there's more people in the test. There's still people taking the test. Is what I said, and then I walked out, and then the dude went in there, and then she asked him the same question, and he said, no, I'm the last one.
Damn!
And damn on those haters, bro.
Damn!
Yep.
That was actually pretty intense.
I was pretty scared, dude. I was like, it was just, but like, you have to realize this, like, the dude walked out of the classroom literally like maybe 30 seconds after handing my test in. So had I waited any longer, I would have been caught. And I just remember the next week came by, we got our test graded, and I got like a 75.
Nice, dude.
So that was pretty good, because I knew for a fact I would have gotten like maybe 15%, if that. I was so nervous.
Dude, if I was in that class, you would have easily just texted me, and I would have stalled so hard in there. I would have been like, have you text me the answers.
It's like, yeah, you have the teacher who's watching you through a camera, then you have a fucking a dude monitoring everybody taking the test.
Oh my fucking god, that's lit.
I was so scared, and I was like, thank God, and I got a C out of the test. I was pretty damn happy about that, but I freaked the fuck out, dude. I was like, after that, it got me out of that funk. Like, legit, because of that, it got me out of that funk that I didn't want to go to class anymore.
Yeah.
To paying attention back in class, and then once the next unit test came in, I was fine. But yeah, I would not recommend that shit. God damn, that was just scary as shit, dude. I remember walking out, dude. It was like it was the fall. It was the fall, and like I could feel like my palms, like the cold air hitting them, and I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I was so scared. God. Yeah. Study for your finals.
It's fucking awesome.
Study for your finals.
I don't have any, like... Okay, so my cheating doesn't really get as insane as yours.
Dude, mine was a mission, dude. I shit you not, that happened.
That legit was like...
I was so scared.
The second exam of the tuning exam was like, fucking you. I thought you set up mirrors and shit, and you had your head moved.
I was forced to cheat, dude. I would have gotten a shitty ass fucking grade on my test for sure. Like, that would have hit my grade hard had I failed that test.
Yeah, but you would have been an honorable man. I'm just kidding.
But I want a good grade. I wanted a good grade though. That was my lowest score, I think, in all the tests I took for that class.
My cheating was basically I just whipped out my phone when she turned around. I would Google search questions.
Where's the anxiety at? Where's the drama?
Like sometimes I would like mistype and I'd be like, or the internet was slow and I'd be like, oh god. Yeah.
Sometimes somebody would send me a text message and my phone would beep.
And I had to reply to said text message. So yeah, sometimes I'd get nudes and I'd be like, shit.
Fucking right now?
Yeah, right now, dude. So basically. Well, the one that you guys like the most is my eraser one. So I have basically it's a high polymer eraser, and it's like just a square white eraser, and it has like this little cardboard sleeve on top of it. It's like the just drawing, I guess, really eraser, and you can slide off the sleeve. And so what I did is I wrote out a bunch of fucking equations on one side of the eraser. And then and the sleeve covers it just ever so perfectly. So pretty much every time, so I made it a habit, like 2 days prior, is I would just constantly just tap my eraser and just play with it and slide it up and down. So that way it
just became normal if they
ever they ever saw me. So then sometimes I'd let it slide all the way down, but not for the case to fall out, so I could read the equations, slide it back up.
So for like every unit, did you just like have to get a new eraser? Just
no, I just did it. I just did it once, and basicly I had this is the meme. So I wore a hoodie, or you know my like long, oversized sweater.
No.
So the one with the lion on it.
No.
Okay,
Okay,
well, whatever. But basically, the pockets are, you can't really even tell that that shit has pockets. But I had other erasers in there.
Oh my god.
So I would swap them out every so often, and
shit.
I'd do the same thing. And I'd go them all the way.
Wait, does
and
this have formulas in it?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was this one. So basically, I would swap them out, and when they got too close, and I would do the same thing, but I'd make sure to show them both sides, and I just keep doing it, and then I always do it with my left hand, and then I'd swap it out and bring out the one with equations. Yeah.
That's some like Yagami type shit right there.
And then I'd write the names down, and they all die. No, but yeah, no one fucking noticed, and I was like legit just grinning, and my eyes were red, and I was like dun 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 dun.
That opening just starts playing. Oh my god, that's insane. If anything, this podcast is showing how much of cheating bastards we are.
The one in high school that I thought was actually very, very clever was I pretended, I don't know if you were in my class, but I pretended I got like 2nd-degree burns or some shit. So I had like, I don't remember if I had like a bandage over it, like the wrap thing, or like just a sweater sleeve. But I basically tattooed myself with like Sharpie across my whole fucking arm, and I just had answers on fucking answers and shit. And I was wearing ripped jeans too. And
you wrote on your leg.
yeah, I wrote on my thigh. And so basically it showed my knee, and then I would just roll it up to my thigh. So I would like extend my leg and shit. So I had answers fucking everywhere, dude. My whole body was a canvas, and I was like, you know, I would just be like, oh, I'm just checking my burns and shit. And I'd be like, the answer is B.
I don't think in high school, the only other time I can think of one is when we had like a pop quiz. I forget what class it was, but I remember like the teacher was like, yeah, you know, I'll randomly throw in pop quizzes every now and then. And I remember I walked into the classroom, I was the first one there. And actually, I wasn't the first one there. It was a few classmates were already in there, but the teacher wasn't there. And I walk in, and they were all like huddled around like his desk. And then they look at me and they're like, dude, the answers to the pop quiz are right here. So I just like fucking jump shit on that, and I look at the quiz answers, and it was usually like 5 to 10 questions, and I just memorized like the first 5. And then I just sat down. Like everyone else, like would write them on their hands or arms, and like they would actually have all the answers there. And I'm like, now I'll just memorize the first 5. At least get like a passing grade if I do that.
That just reminded me of some other shit.
Oh god, that's the only thing I did. What the fuck you do?
So I got So my hands are naturally kind of clammy and sweaty. You know this. So basically what I did is I got like baby powder or some type of powder right before the class started. So I had all this shit prepped. I had it like just in my bag. Like I just pour it in there, like not like a baggie. So it'd be like on the outer lining of my bag. I just like slap it, and so my hand would be really dry. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then I had in my pocket a prepared piece of tape. So I'd put the tape on my finger, on like my index finger up to my thumb on my left hand. And also I made a habit throughout the week. I'd always just have my left hand in a fist, right? And I'd be right, and I'd have it on the desk. So pretty much I had on that tape written in Sharpie a bunch of the fucking answers written on there. And it's clear tape, so you couldn't really like see it, that was tape and shit. And it wasn't like really thick, but.
And how about you like actually study for the
No. So I'd be writing shit, and then I'd open my hand. I'd have the answers on one finger, and on another finger, another finger. So you gotta get fucking, what is it called? I was like MacGyver. You know what MacGyver is?
No, but you gotta stay woke.
Yeah, you gotta basically stay woke, kids. Try to best me in my cheating ways.
Or study for a test.
Oh, dude, I had so. Oh fuck, there's another one too. So I had. In high school, I had longer hair than I had right now. So pretty much, I would get a little clip, like a little hair, like clippy thing, and my hair is really, really fucking thick. So I would have it in my bangs, and I'd have a piece of paper, and then I'd clip it in there, and since it was really fucking long, and it would go to like my chin, my bangs. So then I would just act as if I'm scratching or just playing with it, and then I'd just have the fucking answers, and I'd look up, and boom, X equals blah 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 blah. So
oh my god,
I got really fucking clever with this shit. Like I hid a lot of shit. Also in my shoes.
No,
I had holes in my shoes, so I would legit just fucking put pieces of paper, and I'd look, and then just like definitions or shit like that.
I do remember like seeing other people cheat though. Like it would always just be the usual. Just write it in your arm. Just wear like long sleeve, either a hoodie or
pussy
shirt.
Shit.
I don't think I ever saw anyone else going as far as you. Like I thought you were about to say like you actually had the answers taped to like the rim of your glasses, and every now and then you take them out.
I didn't wear glasses. Or didn't wear them as much because I thought they looked stupid. Which I mean, they still do.
Look at you now.
Yeah, look at
you now.
I need to get contacts too. But anyways,
they're really good. They really are. I would not trade them for anything in the world.
What other ways do I cheat?
You kept on cheating.
Oh, I did this once, and this is probably by far the most setup I had to fucking do. Is I came in like, cause they had prep before our class, right? So there was nobody in there. So I went to the seat in front of me on the chair, and I taped a piece of paper on it, and it had some fucking answers, but that shit was small. And I taped it enough so that in case someone came by and I was close enough, I could just rip it off. You know what I'm saying? So like pretty much the person in front of me was helping me cheat. And then I'd be like, dude, stop fucking moving. Like,
you know, another thing, I didn't cheat, but I helped someone else cheat. I helped Jaime cheat.
Yeah, with the paper.
With the paper, yeah. Like he was a grade below us, so.
Such a daddy.
Yeah, he was taking an English 10, and I remember like there was some assignment, like it was just a paper, and I think like he didn't want to do it, or he was just too lazy to do it, and I was like, "Well, I have a paper if you want it." Like I still had saved from the last year, and I just gave it to him. It's like,
yeah,
I think he said he got an A or something out of it. Yeah. Although I told him like just edit it out, like
he did it.
I bet he literally just submitted
with your name still.
I literally told him like, dude, if you're gonna do anything, at least switch the name and the date. Like, God.
2014.
2014 is like, what the fuck? But yeah, I gave him a paper and he got an A out of it, I think. So
yeah,
I helped the brother out there.
Oh.
And then I helped another person out, and I also gave them a paper because it was for advanced comp in senior year.
Was it Carmen?
I forgot who I gave it to. I just remember giving it to somebody because the way the class worked is you had all these big papers. You know, you had your argumentative essay, you had your research paper, your persuasive speeches and all that stuff too. And I remember writing this paper out, and I was about to hand it in, and then all of a sudden, my teacher came up to me and she was all like, you know, I really liked your last paper, and I think it was like an argumentative paper, and she said if you want, you can use that paper, change a little bit out of it, and then use it as your persuasive paper, which is the one I typed out.
Okay.
And I said, oh, so basically I just have to change the wording a little bit so it sounds like a persuasive paper, and she said yes. And then I was like, cool. But I didn't tell her I already wrote a persuasive rough draft. And I stepped back to my desk, and I remember just like saying out loud, like, oh, cool, I don't have to use this paper anymore. And then, like, some kid next to me, he was just like, yo, Javier, dude, email me that shit. And I'm like, what? He's like, dude, email me that paper, you don't need it anymore. Come on, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I was like, all right. And I email him the paper. And he turns it in. Like, he didn't fix anything. I didn't care. I was like, I didn't tell her I already wrote it. So I just told him, dude, just change the name, change the date, goddammit. And sure. And I gave it to him. And I was like right there. I was like, you better change the name right now. And he did. And then he submitted it. And then he turned it in as a rough draft. and then he turned it in as a final paper. Like, he did not fix shit, and he got like a B out of it.
Goddamn.
So I helped 2 people cheat by giving them free papers.
Oh, and
I should have probably told them, just like, give me $20 and I'll do it.
yeah, no, for sure. That's what I was.
I didn't think of it. I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, and I just gave him the paper.
I always hike up the prices if they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, all right, 25 then, bitch.
25, the new COD.
The new COD. In art appreciation, I didn't partake in it, but my whole class was in on it.
What?
And since it was also a like the live stream shit, so pretty much the teacher somewhere else, is they muted our entire classroom.
Okay.
And then so this is why I was like, okay, retards, if you're gonna do it, because all of them were fucking retarded. Like, we had Tim, the white one. We had what's his name? Jade's like brother, his older brother, and like Cynthia, which is also equally a retard, and Isaac, and like
Who's also
a retard, and like
what's up,
it's just a bunch of fucking dumbasses. and so basically,
Isaac, if you're listening, I don't think you're a dumbass.
I love you, man. And they came up to me, I think, if I remember correctly, and then they're like, yo, dude, we know that you know all of this shit. And I was like, in my mind, I was like, I don't know jack shit. But like, okay, so I didn't know.
But they
like,
don't know that.
I didn't know the history of like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse,
Yeah.
fucking painting or metal etch. I didn't fucking know what year, who the fuck made it. But I did know like all the terms for like drawing and painting and how to perform them. Right, and everyone else didn't fucking know that. And they're like, yo, dude, you gotta help us cheat, man. And then they all looked at me and they're like, we need you, you know? And I was like, this is my moment. And then I was like,
my children.
yeah, I was like, what's your grade? And they're like, dude, I legit need this to pass. And they're like, dude, I can't fail this shit. And I'm like, damn, that fucking sucks. And then I just walk in and then I turn around and I'm like, suck a cock. And then I walk in and they're all like fucking fuming. And they're like, dude, motherfucker, help us cheat. And I was like, all right, retards, sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up, don't fucking look at me, and follow my fucking lead. I swear to God, if any of you guys fuck this up, I will not hesitate to tell them that you're cheating. And they're like, okay, man. And they're like all, like some of them were older than me too. And I was just like, sit the fuck down, look at your paper. And then they brought us the tests.
Damn, Papa Frank was just in charge.
Dude, I always am in charge of groups. I lead. I'm not a fucking sheep.
Even if I don't know jack shit, I lead.
Yeah, no, even though I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, I fucking lead. And then since it's like live stream and there's like a TV, you know, that there's the controls, right? And I knew how to use the controls. Usually the teacher never really gives them to you, but you know what I'm saying, I had some connects. So I had the control, and this is what I did. I walked in and I was talking to the teacher and I was like, hey, you know, I can't really hear you. I'm gonna turn up the volume real quick. And then I like tested it and I was like, okay, yeah, it's fine. And then as I said fine, I muted it. And then I like looked down and I just fucking yelled and I was like, all right, so they couldn't see my mouth. I was like, all right, everybody just fucking stare down at your tests. Don't fucking look up. Don't look at anybody. And I don't fucking make any dumbass movements. Follow what I say and you'll fucking pass. And then everybody, like a fucking charm, looked down. And then I was like, question 1, blah, 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 answer B. And then they all wrote it down. And then I was like, do not even fucking glance at me. And then I was like, if you're done, stand up and leave. And then I was like, when the last person is done, tell me so I can unmute it. And then I would unmute it every so often so that she could hear just like the rustling. Because then I'd be like, everybody, shut the fuck up, 40 seconds. And then I just unmute it for 40 seconds. Dude, and I had the control like like in my hoodie. And then I'd be like, I'd mute it and then it'd be like, all right, good, don't look at me. And I just constantly have my head down and like my mouth covered with my left hand. And I just keep writing. And then like, and I was like, if you want me to repeat a fucking number, say it. Don't fucking look at me. Don't touch me. And I was like, we are not making this fucking obvious. And then everybody like made it through. And then I was like, last question, blah, blah, blah. But like some questions I didn't know, but there were some people that were really, so everybody had like shit that they were good at, and I exploited that. And I was like, okay, what unit did you actually like? And people were like, oh, I really like this unit. And for some fucking reason, Jay's brother knew a lot of the dates of when it was fucking made. And I was like, all right, dude, when the fuck was this made? And he's like, 18 whatever, blah, 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 October. And I was like, god damn. And I was like, Carmen, who the fuck made this? And then she'd be like, blah, 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 blah. And then I'd be like, all right, sick. And then I'd be like, Isaac, never mind. and then I'd
I just imagine Isaac's like, it's my time to shine, boys.
So yeah, no, and then I'd be like, all right, next question. We had to like draw diagrams and shit of how it looked like, and then I'd be like, grab your pencil from the corner of the square, drag it 2 inches to the left, and I'd be like super specific, and then I'd be like, go down 1 inch, make it connect, and I'd just say all of this shit to the point where they had like just a drawing of whatever they needed. And then once the test was over, and I was like, I'm muting, 3, 2, and then I unmuted it, and then everybody was just like, just like, okay, we finished. And then they'd go stack it. And then, like, I remember Isaac just turned around and just nodded and, like, gave me a bro fist. And then I was like, don't fucking touch me. I was like, it's not fucking over yet. And then I turned in my test, and then she's like, all right, can someone fucking take them? And then whoever fucking took them and shit. And then I walked out, and then everybody was like, God fucking damn. Like, dude, fucking thank you, man. And I was like, I know. I was like, I know I'm great. Because they're like, dude, you're the best. And I was like, I fucking know I'm the best.
I don't need you to tell me. I don't need you to tell me.
I don't need your confirmation. I know I'm the best.
I know I'm better than you.
Yeah, I said that all the time.
I know.
I said that in that class, too.
After like telling them what you do. I'm better than all of you.
Because,
Answer 3. B.
Because there's 3 classes, right? There is the main campus, us, and then the side campus. And then because we were just fucks, she would constantly like shit on us, and then I had enough one day, and I was like, I swear I'm gonna get the highest score on this final and pass with the highest grade than everybody else, including where she currently is, my class, and the other class. And then the people in like her location were just like, damn, what a fucking asshole. And I was like, I'm better than all of you. And then the whole room just went silent.
I heard you, cunts.
And I was just like, I'm better than all of you. And it just went fucking silent. And then I was like, oh fuck, I gotta do this. I was like, shit. I was like, me and my
now
big mouth.
For real.
Yeah, I was like, now it's for real. But yeah, I got the highest grade. I scored 100 on the test. I'm pretty sure some people fucked it up when I was coordinating them, but whatever. They also passed. I think everyone passed, so that was good. And yeah, I passed with like an A, even though I was like failing at some point. So, yeah, man, that's as hard as I went on cheating.
Coordinating an entire classroom. Imagine if one fuck up and like you forget to like unmute or mute, and then she hears you.
I don't fuck up.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
No,
I took every dumbass's like their habits into consideration, and I was like, okay, but they were all desperate for a passing grade, and I was like, look at me. I'm the captain now. And I was like, you shut the fuck up. As long as everyone was completely quiet, they let me talk, and I locked the door of that fucking room too. So that no one could come in and like catch me and shit. And if they like try to wiggle it, I'd be like, oh, sorry, someone probably might have accidentally locked it or something, you know what I'm saying? So, and I made sure to test that 2 weeks prior. Because I locked it, and one of the like office people came in, and I was like, "Oh shit, this has been locking randomly. I think someone's doing it." So that way,
and that one's me.
Stay woke, yeah, and that was me. I constantly did that, so that way everything was prepped, so that it would be just perfect. So yeah.
Damn.
You guys call me a dumbass, but I'm like a fucking commander at this shit. I just don't talk about it.
Your exploits.
Yeah, my exploits. Oh, well, that was all the topics I had.
Oh, that's good.
No, I'm just kidding. So my next one, Javier, since we really went on a tangent on cheating, but
we do not encourage such behavior.
No, okay.
But goddamn, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it right.
Yeah. So basically, my philosophy on anything or like bets is I will not place a bet that I know I'm not gonna win in. So if you ever see me betting, you better pull the fuck out because that's like 100%. I already know I'm gonna win. So I only cheat in that one instance where I wasn't even cheating. It was just kind of just blatant. Like I just didn't give a fuck when I used my phone.
You already knew your.
Yeah, I knew my shit, but I was like helping everyone else out, and I also needed some other answers. So pretty much I only cheat when I know 100% sure that there are no variables that can fuck me up. And if I were to get caught, I could easily blame it on someone else.
It was Isaac. It was all him.
I was so prepared that I had a bunch of scapegoats, and I was like, I can use them.
You should have turned around like, Isaac, if you fuck this up, you're the first one down.
No, I probably would have thrown Tim under the bus.
Oh, that's good.
Tim or Jade's brother, because they were the easiest, really.
Tim probably would have been like, oh, man, it was me, yeah.
Well, Isaac's my boy, so I can't do that to him. I think Jose was also in there. And he was also my boy.
Wait, name dropping. Not this podcast. No,
but anyways, Javier, was this semester stressful?
Yes, it was. They were all online classes, and they were 5 classes total.
How do you deal with stress?
Oh, God, I
life-wise?
jerk off so much. So much.
I remember the past 3 episodes, you're like, wow, dude, quality content, talking about jacking off.
God, I fap so much.
And look who brought it up. I have not said it one fucking time.
Alright, what do I do?
Yeah, what do you do?
What do I do?
When you're really, what do you do to just handle all of the stress?
Well,
Like
it's a
school
lot of
and
it is
work.
because I worked every quick instruction. Name drop.
Hashtag they can find us now.
find
Hashtag
us
I have
now.
to edit that out. Hashtag bleep.
What's the timestamp?
Hashtag
41 minutes.
It doesn't fucking matter because I listened to it like 5
Alright,
times.
anyways.
I'll just bleep it out. It's fine. Just say construction. you fucker.
Road construction. 6 point.
1 plus 9 point.
Anyways, I worked and I would work from 4 in the fucking morning till fucking 8 in the afternoon. Motherfucker, that is 16 hours a day, 6 days out of the week. You best know I'm fucking tired physically and emotionally and mentally. God damn.
Javier was tired, hungry,
I was
horny.
tired. I think every day my daily calorie intake was about 1,400 calories.
What's the average?
Well, an average adult diet is 2,000.
Oh, okay.
You easily consume more than 2,000.
Ow.
Like let's say like one.
Just because I ate 2 pizzas before you got here doesn't mean
a
anything.
big sandwich at a BK or McDonald's is easily 1,500 calories. Easily.
I pound like 3 of those.
Easily. So yeah, and I know fast food is part of your daily diet.
Hey,
It is.
that's kind of true. Well, not anymore. I'm trying to.
Every other day.
I'm
at
trying to
least.
lean
Every
up.
other day.
I'm trying to lean up. Okay, I've been exercising. I mean, I had food poisoning.
It helps.
Well, that fucked me
Well,
up,
anyways, so basically, I used that summer frustration and boredom and just pretty much exhaustion as a fuel to when I went back into the fall semester. I understood that if I fail in school, this is most likely my future. And I used that anger that I had for the job that I did for 3 months in order just to remember I don't like this and I'm going to do everything I can to avoid this.
Okay.
And if that means spending 4 to 6 hours a day doing homework or studying or reading, then that's what I have to do.
That's better than being in the sun for 16.
I would rather be at home with air conditioning, internet connection, not being physically tired, and just sit down and just read for 4 hours than having to do physical manual labor for 16. Because it was bad. Like, I would wake up at 3 in the morning, have to be at work at 4 a.m. So keep in mind, this is in the summer. This is nighttime, and I'm already working. It's like 4 in the morning. It's still dark outside. And I would literally work from the nighttime till dawn and literally till dusk. Like, I would wake up at night, and I would come back to our shitty-ass motel at night. Like, it was just shit. And I remember just, like, coming back from work and just, like, fucking eating a bunch of food because I was fucking hungry from working all day, taking a shower once all the sweat and all the grimes off of you, then you get back on your bed and you just kind of just go to sleep, because if you don't sleep by 9, you're gonna have less than 5-6 hours of sleep in total.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my life every single day for 3 months. So whenever I'm stressed out doing homework, I just think back, I'd rather be stressed out or being bored for a few hours than going back to being tired and just not happy every day for weeks on end. I mean, that's why I always think back to that. If I ever feel like, what's the point of school? Why am I doing this? I just think back to everything I did in the summer.
Alright, fair enough. I watched this, the Hot Ones, the Hot Wing challenge.
Are you fucking shitting me right now?
Well, no, that's not how I deal stress.
Okay,
But this is
I
where,
was gonna say.
No, this is where
I just watched the video and I'm good.
No, this is where my
I'm Gucci
question originated. Damn it.
Jesus Christ! How do you deal with stress? Well, there's this one YouTube channel. They eat hot wings.
So pretty much they did it with Casey Neistat.
I don't even know who that is. Is that a YouTuber?
Yeah. So pretty much one of the stories that he told, and they're like, so how did you really even become like a YouTuber and even try to do this? Because you used to work at like a restaurant washing dishes and shit. And then he's like, if you want to know, like, if you're fresh out of like school or some shit, or you just don't know what the fuck you're doing with your life or want to do with your life, go to a job that you just hate. And the entire time that you're there, working there, you're just going to think about shit that you'd rather do than being there. So that way you start to learn and know what you want to do. And I was like, hey, Javier probably did that too. And I did that too, because unlike you that went into college right away, right after high school, I took a year off and I worked at a factory that I fucking hated. And in that whole year...
Yeah, manual labor is just, for me, the greatest example, because that is what everyone goes to if they don't have a high degree of education, is manual labor. So I think that is probably the best way to realize how shitty your life can be if you choose to follow this path.
Yeah, no, I remember, like, you guys just telling me, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Because I was 18 and I was working with, like, people that were, like, already family.
Yeah, you were very young. You were very young.
Yeah. I think I just barely turned 18 too.
I think you were probably out of our graduating class. You were like, if they weren't farmers, you were definitely the first one to go right into manual labor after high school. Because everyone else just had like part-time jobs, like fast food restaurants or like fucking stores or something.
That was my first job too.
Yeah.
And what was great is I went legit like 3 weeks into the summer. So pretty much I did not really have summer.
Yeah, we couldn't hang out with you. Like, I remember that.
Yeah. I just went...
We'd only see you once a week.
Balls deep in that shit. And everybody there was, like, set and, like, with a family. And I was, like, in a rocky relationship. So that made it worse. And I remember at that point I was the most stressed out in my life. So pretty much, like, right now I'm, like... Even though I have, like, weekly deadlines and shit that always, like, freak me out. But... it was nowhere near as intense as that moment. So pretty much I would go to work, and I did night shift, which sucked even worse. So basically I couldn't hang out with anybody. My brother worked day shift, so I couldn't even hang out with him. So I would come back home, or I would go to work, suck nuts.
Literally suck.
Yeah, legit. I would have like 8-10 hours of just thinking how to kill myself. No, I'm just. Well, I mean, I contemplated it a lot of times. I was like,
didn't you have knives in your hands at all?
Yeah, I had knives, and at one point I was like, I could just drive this into my fucking neck, and I was like, not today. And like, yeah, no, I remember people were just like, since my mom also worked there, everybody in my family worked there, and like they would constantly tell my mom like, yo, is your kid okay? Like, he just looks fucking depressed.
Yeah, he's always holding a knife to his throat. Is he okay? This is a daily thing. He's been doing this since middle school. It's just normal.
Yeah, it's just normal. And I remember that's where I met Tim's brother, Tom. And he really helped out. And I met a lot of people there that really did teach me a lot of shit. And I remember this one guy that was just, he was like, his locker was next to mine when we had to like get changed into like the work equipment and shit. and he worked with my dad. So he knew my dad, and because he knew my dad, he like knew who I was. So he came up to me as like this like older Asian dude.
Oh, okay.
And he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you liking this new job?" And I was like, "I fucking hate it." And I was like, no, I was so broken down. I was like, I hate it. You know, I want to be with the person I was currently with. I want to be with my friends. You know, I want to do all this shit. I want to go to school. And then he's like, and I was like, dude, I feel like my life is fucking over. Like I was pouring my soul out to this dude, and I was just like, I don't give a fuck at this point. Like I don't care what you fucking think of me. And the guy just straight up looks at me and he's like, dude, this is just a job. And he's like, this isn't your life. Like, you can change your life whenever you want. And then I was like, don't you hate this job? And then he's like, not really. It provides for my kid and my wife. And my wife also works here, so I get to see her. And, you know, it's just a job. It doesn't really rule my life. And legit, that, like, just fucking was, like, a big monumental turn in how I began to think differently, and I was like, holy shit. And yeah, I was just like, you know, because prior to that, of my whole just like downfall every day, I was just pissed, and I'd fucking get yelled at, and I was like, I'm gonna fucking get fired, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I went through a lot of that in the summer too. A lot of that, like, either by the supervisor, and I also worked alongside my dad, and it's like, my dad, He just, I share this trait with him, is that we get angry really quickly. Although I don't show it as much.
I don't know, when I play Yu-Gi-Oh against you,
I
look like you're gonna throw hands.
I get triggered.
Yeah.
But I'm talking I can get mad over a game or mad over something trivial. But if I get pissed at something, when I was younger, and I would say the last time I ever did it was when I was 16. I would definitely lash out a lot, and I remember anything that triggered me or pissed me off, I would either
scream really loud.
No.
God.
No, I would either.
We had 2 of those last episode. It's just ear rape at this point.
No, I would always lash out. I remember I always treated my brother very badly when we were kids. And our relationship wasn't the best
Your
back
youngest?
then. No, my middle brother.
Oh.
And I remember whenever I was mad, I would always take it out on him. Anything he would say, if I was in a bad mood already, anything he would say would just be the catalyst. And it would just piss me off a lot. And my dad and I share that. We both get frustrated and angry very quickly. The only difference is that now, anyways, he lashes out right away.
Yeah.
I can't control it, and I can just stay calm.
Okay.
That's the key difference between me and him. We both get pissed off right away, very quickly, but he lashes out and I don't.
Okay.
That's like the main difference there.
Yeah.
So over the summer, it'd just be like, it wouldn't be like huge, like holy shit, you know, blah blah blah, like yelling.
You're adopted.
Yeah, he wouldn't yell at me or anything like that. He would just kind of just be like, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do this, like, you know, like just kind of just giving you like a lecture, if anything.
Yeah.
But it was annoying as hell. Like, it wouldn't be every day. It'd be probably like 2 or 3 times a week it would happen. So there would be fuck ups because he works for that company. He's been working there for over 10 years, and this was barely my second summer. Like, in total, I only have 6 months of experience compared to his 10 years. So I remember just being pissed off all the time. And I remember people at work would always be like, and I was one of the younger ones there. I think this year there was a new guy who was working there, and he was a year younger than me. But I am one of the younger ones. Like, the only one close to my age. He's 23, and after that it jumps to people in their 30s.
Was he the one that wanted to fuck this specific girl?
Oh no.
Oh, is this another guy?
The one that wants to fuck that specific girl, he's 25.
Oh, okay.
He's a lot older.
There's so many memes.
Yeah, I feel like people would be like, who are they talking about?
I'll just bleep it out, but I'm just kidding. It doesn't matter, but anyways, continue.
Basically, guys,
she's fit.
This girl is fit, and picture a Ditto from Pokemon. Like, this Ditto would smash anything.
Yeah, I'm waiting for my turn at the moment.
I'm waiting for my turn too.
Yeah, so.
Damn, I want my turn now. Anyways.
God damn it. If you're listening to this, you know who you are.
You know who we are. We're waiting for our turn. Anyways.
Okay, that sounds really fucked up, but...
I want to fuck her.
We're not... This isn't some rape shit, by the way.
It's okay. Edit this out. Edit this out. Edit this out. It's all good.
I would love to be in a consensual relationship with her
bite us in the ass. If
for
you don't
2
cut
days.
this out right now. Anyways.
I don't give a fuck.
Anyways.
My future's done.
It is. Anyways. I just remember people telling me, like, yeah, you know, you're one of the youngest ones we have here. And it's good you're only doing this as a way to get money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just know that if it doesn't go well in school, this is where you're gonna end up in.
Oh yeah, that one's
so
nice.
Yeah, I understand from like getting some wisdom, some knowledge.
Yeah, no.
From an older dude who's been there for a while. Because they also just see it's just a job. Like I hated it there, and it sucked ass for me. And I remember sometimes I just wouldn't want to go. Like we didn't work in town where at the end of the night I would just go back home. Like we worked, it would always be at least a 4-hour drive from home. So I would only come back to my house once a week, every weekend. Sometimes not even every weekend. There were times where I would stay there for 2 weeks on end.
Yeah.
And it would suck. And I just remember just thinking, man, you know, it sucks. And I remember sometimes I wouldn't want to leave. Like, I'd be in a bad mood. I wouldn't want to leave my house to go back to work. And I would always just get a letter from my parents being like, you know, nobody's forcing you. You don't have to go. Like, you know, pretty much giving me a guilt trip. Is like, we're not forcing you to go. You don't want to go if you don't have to. You don't have to. And it's like, well, I gotta do this because it like I said, it serves for me as motivation to keep going to school.
Yeah, that was the same thing. I used to do 7-day shifts, if you remember that.
Yeah.
And then I got bumped up to basically like supervisor right hand. So I was working like 12, 13, 14-hour shifts. And I would have to leave early and I'd leave late. And then I would work on Sundays. And then my parents were like, dude, you can just skip. And then I'd just be like, but I can't. And then I was like, I don't know. I guess that was really when I started having a sense of responsibility for shit. Like, I asked for that, and I was getting paid a lot more. So I was like, I should just man the fuck up and, you know, do it, even though it sucked ass. And then, of the whole, like, angry shit, so I would go to work, I'd get shit on, right? And then I'd come home and receive a phone call and get shit on with the person I was with. And then I would get shit on by my parents for being awake. And then I'd go to sleep. And then I'd wake up and get shit on in the morning by the same person. And then I'd get shit on by my parents. And it was like an endless cycle. So I felt like I was just going mad at that point. I was just like, I legit wake up, get yelled at, go to sleep, get yelled at. And I was like, everybody is just fucking at my throat. And I was so fucking tired of it. And that, you know, well, you know, then, I mean, yeah. I kept working there for a while. Broke that off, and
now you're just an independent, young, fit man who don't need
I
woman.
I don't say fit, but I can run a mile in at least 2 hours.
You don't need.
Actually, I don't even know if my fuck. Last time I ran was like last winter because I was like, oh dude, it's kind of warm, and I ran by the lake, and I didn't think, hey, the lake is frozen. So like all the coldness from the lake came in and went in my lungs, and then my lungs got fucked up and I got really sick. And I was legit dying. I was like wheezing and shit.
God damn, that lake looked cool.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just I enjoy my freedom, honestly.
Yeah, I would say whoever, like, if they're listening, that they are either about to leave high school or they're already out of high school and they don't know what they're doing. It's like, people, I don't know, people have this, I would say misconception that they have to go to college right afterwards. If you have the means to do so, and I mean financially, sure, but I switched majors my first semester, and I had a bunch of scholarships that I wasn't paying as much money. So I switched majors after a year, actually, not a semester. I spent 1 year in business administration. It wasn't really my passion for it. I knew I wanted something business related, and then I switched to accounting, which I prefer much more over business. And because of my scholarships, it wasn't that much of a tank financially, but I did waste a whole year.
Yeah.
And knowing that basically I don't want to do this major, I want to do that major. And since I went to community college, it didn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt that much anyways. But it is a whole year of your life you could have dedicated doing something else. I have several family members, several friends who they always just ask, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I'm doing, and I remember hating hearing this shit.
Fuck, fam, I don't know either. Like,
yeah, senior year, I swear to God that my teachers, people that would just like ask me, what are you doing after high school? I'm like, fuck if I know. I don't fucking know. Like, I've literally spent, 12 years going to school every day, and now you're asking me what I'm going to do now? It's like, how do you answer that?
Yeah.
Like, I would fucking hate those people that would always either be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to this Fort State University, I'm gonna be a fucking biologist, oh, I'm gonna be a motherfucking doctor, I'm gonna be a lawyer. Like, they already had their fucking shit mapped out freshman year.
Yeah.
And mostly because they either had like an older sibling or their parents.
Yeah.
So like guide them as to what they could do. I didn't have that. Like, I didn't have.
Yeah, Javier didn't have parents nor older siblings.
I don't have older siblings.
Yeah.
I didn't have in my family. I do have an aunt who went to school, but she didn't finish. And I didn't really have many connections in college, so I didn't know what to do. So that's why I was always jealous of those who had those people, whether it was a sibling or a close family member they could talk to and ask questions. And you can use their experience as some knowledge when you're making up your mind. I would definitely say for those who are about to leave high school, you can take a year off. You can take 2 years off.
Yeah.
You don't have to go right away. It's better for you to find what you really want to do, instead of just like me. I was like, okay, I have all these scholarships. I have to go to college. That's what everyone else is doing. I want to follow the herd or something.
Take it from us. Javier went straight into college, and I took a year off. My brothers, I have 2 older brothers, and so I'm the youngest. And my oldest brother did college, but didn't really make it because he's a dumbass. And my middle brother was forced to drop out of high school, and because we were moving, and he just kind of didn't want to continue. He didn't really see a point anymore. He was like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. So, yeah, I was like, well, shit, Javier and, like, everyone else, I was like, fuck, they're all going to college, and I'm like, shit, what do I do? I felt like I was just wasting my life when I took a year off. But I did learn a lot of valuable shit that I would not have learned if I had went to college. And it was more life lessons, and a lot of,
it'll be a learning experience no matter what you do.
Yeah.
The thing is
just don't be like Tony, who just fucking sits in his room and plays fucking video games and watches anime all fucking day while his parents support his ass, even though he's like 21. He has not done jack shit with his life. Still works fucking parts. Anyways, Javier, what are you saying? He's not gonna listen to this.
Anyway, no. Well, and then you have those people who don't want to go to college at all. And they just rather just jump from one shitty job to another low-paying shitty job. I would say
don't get pregnant in high school.
Don't get preggers.
Don't do it.
Wait till marriage. As you should.
If you're getting silly, wrap the willy or some shit. I don't know. Or going raw. I don't care.
Going raw. I like it
just
raw.
pull the fuck out, dog. Like,
condoms are not expensive, dogs.
Neither is pulling out.
Pulling out is
pulling out is skill.
It's cheaper.
So
you like that adrenaline rush?
Yeah, you like that fear that she might be pregnant. Yeah, fuck yeah. No, but I mean, look, yeah, there's a lot of factors that play into it.
I would say
finish high school without having.
I do encourage everybody to go to college. Like, I would encourage my children to go to college if they decide they didn't want to go to college. It's their life. They're going to do what they want to do. I would definitely would encourage family, friends, and children to go to college because I feel, and it is supported by facts. If you have a college education, you're more likely to have a higher income than if you didn't go to college.
Unless you invest in Bitcoin.
Unless you invest in Bitcoin. Unless you just get lucky and you win the fucking lotto.
Exactly.
Why can't I win the fucking lotto?
I bought my tickets.
I buy it every year.
Yeah, I kind of do the same thing with my kids, but I also like really show them more shit.
The life struggles instead
well,
of like
no,
sugarcoating everything.
Not that. Well, yeah, that too, but like, as in interest wise.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because like my dad wasn't really like. He didn't really teach me a lot of stuff, like, interest-wise. Like, you know how some dads, they're like, oh, let's play sports. Maybe like sports. Oh, you maybe like music, shit like that, you know?
Yeah,
like, I'd introduce them more to shit like that.
My dad is, the only sports my dad likes is it's just boxing and MMA.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, that was the only sport we watched was boxing, so I had a lot of boxing knowledge of different boxers, how the sport is played.
Why didn't you go into boxing?
I don't want to get my face punched 500 fucking times.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I didn't. I mean, I just like watching boxing just because my parents like watching boxing. But you know, most Hispanics like soccer.
Yeah.
My dad isn't a soccer fan, so it was always kind of since he didn't watch soccer, I didn't watch soccer. So all these other kids who loved soccer, that's the sport they like to talk about. They didn't like talk about boxing. They'd be like, that's boring, and you know, soccer's much more fun. So.
I bet the boxing guy can kick that guy's ass though.
Yeah. Yeah, that guy can only use his legs. This guy can punch him in the face.
Yeah, but I think the one that introduced me to a lot of shit was my middle brother.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. It's like I'm jealous of those who had older siblings because I notice this with my younger siblings is that I show them a lot of things that I like that they might like. Them either being music or anime or movies or games that they may like. Like my youngest sibling, I had him watch SEO, but he actually liked it.
Way to ruin his life.
No, I told him watch this episode and he watched it on Netflix and he liked it.
Yeah.
He liked SEO and he was like 7 or 8 at the time when I told him to watch it. And then my middle brother, I had him watch Naruto when I was watching it when I was a kid. And he really liked it, so he grew up liking the show. Yeah. I didn't have that when I was a kid. You know, I didn't have older siblings, which sucked ass. But you know, you were lucky you did.
I don't know. It's always that I wish I had this, I wish I had that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I wish I wasn't the youngest.
I mean, I don't see any benefits of being the oldest, to be honest. The oldest always has the most responsibility.
I guess, but I always wanted a sister. I always wanted to know how that was like. Cause like my cousins, you would have like just sisters and shit, and I was like, I always just wondered how that was gonna be like. But he said it sucked, but I don't know.
Having sisters, I don't know.
Well, I don't know. At least like I wanted a younger sibling.
The closest thing I ever had to a sister was when my aunts and uncles used to live with us, and she's 10 years older than me. So, but she lived with us for a couple of years, ever since I was, I think. From age 3 to 6, she lived with me when I was 3 to 6 years old. So I grew up with her having her around the house when she was probably like 13 or 14 when I was a little kid. Yeah. And she was the closest thing I ever had to a sister. I remember. So to this day, like she's been around me since I was a baby. Right. Like my parents always tell me how I loved hanging out with her. Every time she left the house to go to the park or go to the store, I'd always want to go. And if she ever said no, I would always cry. And I remember,
what a bitch.
Like a little, apparently I just like being around her for some reason. And to this day, every time I see her, she just always goes up to me and she always hugs me and kisses me. And I just kind of, I was like
fuck off. Man.
I was like, oh, kitties, I would imagine that's how having a sister is. Like they're overly attached and they love to be around you. That's how I would view sisters. Like, meanwhile, my brother is like we always punch the shit out of each other. Like, that's how we say hello. It's just a fucking punch to the face,
punch to the nuts. But yeah, I also had it was my my dad's brother's current wife, I guess. She before they were married. I don't fucking know why.
Wait, how much older are they than you?
My siblings?
Your oldest brother.
15 years.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's a big gap.
My middle brother's 6 years older than me.
Okay.
So that's not that much. So he has more of a, I don't know, not dumbass way of thinking. But, yeah, so my dad's brother's wife, for some fucking reason, was living with us. I don't know why. I never really asked. But, yeah, it was pretty much the same scenario and shit. So she would always hang out. And then she, like, kind of talks about it. And I'm like, fuck off, go away. And I'm like, I'm 18 and I'm masturbating by myself, okay? Like, chill. But my middle brother introduced me to anime at a very, very young age.
Oh, God.
Like, insanely young age.
Oh, God.
So, like, while every kid was talking about, like, I don't know what the fuck, talking about when we were kids.
Dexter's Laboratory.
Or,
Ed, Ed and Eddie.
or, like, I don't know, like, shows on TV.
Pokemon.
Like human shows, I guess. And, like, fucking shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, they talk about music. I'd be like, yeah, but did any of you guys see this one specific mech anime? And then they'd just be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So, like, this really, like, obscure, like, just weeb shit that I'd be into. And then,
I'd imagine.
yeah, he got me into, so everybody was playing, like, Madden and shit on their, like, Xbox or, like, FIFA, or I don't know if COD just barely came out at the time when I was, like, a kid. We were like
so.
10. So they were playing all that shit, and then I was playing like Final Fantasy and like the Tales of series and a bunch of like JRPGs and shit, and like really Japanese stuff. So I didn't really have anybody to talk to. I mean, Max played those, but not as religiously as religiously as I played them.
So what I learned is your brother tainted you as a...
Yeah, I always joke about it. And I'm like, you fucking ruined my life. And then, like, yeah, I have a lot of just weeb shit. And then he bought a guitar. And then I was like, that's so cool. I want one. And then I ended up learning more than him. And then I ended up getting one for Christmas when I was like 13. Got an electric. And I learned how to play that, and then you guys gave me an acoustic, which is very, very nice. Even though someone paid only $20, then you know who you are.
Max.
No, it's all good though. I love you guys. But yeah, no. So yeah, I got into music and anime and stuff. And my middle brother, actually everybody except my mom knows how to draw. It's just everybody knows different stuff. So my dad knows realism. For some fucking reason. My oldest brother does like environmental stuff, so for some fucking reason he can do that very well. My middle brother does like abstract weird shit, and then I do my own shit. So yeah.
I don't know. My parents don't. I don't think they have many interests. That it's very, very bland. Although I would say though that part of the reason why I loved business related stuff.
Business
issues. It was because my parents they are, you can say, business owners. Like they run a farm in Mexico from here in the U.S. And as a kid, they would always talk about investments and how to get the most profit out of, either their crops or their livestock. And I just remember always being interested in those conversations, even though half the time I didn't know what they were talking about, because they would always mention cities, they would always mention brand names of like different types of seeds and products, and but I would always be interested in listening in. And I think I was like, ever since I was like 6 or 7 years old, I would always just listen to them talk and blah, blah, blah. And I would always just be interested in the fact that you can take, like, let's say $10 and invest it in something, and eventually, in not the too distant future, get, let's say, $20 back. You get a profit. I was always very keen on that idea, because as a kid I was always, like, addicted to counting money.
Damn.
Like, I would always, like, if I ever found a quarter, like, laying in the ground, like, I would always be so happy. I'd be like, oh my god, I have another quarter. And I would just take it back home with me. And I just remember always wanting to listen to business-related stuff between my parents. I remember when I was, like, 10 years old, my aunt, she ran this, like, souvenir shop. And I remember I would, like, I approached her and I was like, I want to help. I want to. My original idea was to like help her run the business, and then but she lived in a town not too far away from where I lived, and she said, "How about this? How about I give you products, and you sell them in your town, and then you come back here, and I'll give you a cut of the profit." And that's what I did.
Was it coke? was
I'm
it
not a-
fucking a fucking narcotic dealer?
I'm not at all insane. It was. I just remember they were Ziploc bags.
And they weighed a fuck ton. That was a joke. Anyways, so we don't.
That's what I did. I just sold stuff, and I
Is
genuinely.
that why you took an interest in?
I genuinely
business?
had fun doing the sales and recording what I sold.
How many kilos am I selling?
I remember I didn't even know what it was. Like I remember just being able
Jesus Christ.
setting up my own balance sheet. I didn't even know what. I just organized it how I saw was the best way to organize it. I would just see how much inventory I have, and then how much each product is worth, and then putting in how much was sold, and then just kind of keeping track of how much I had of each item.
This honestly sounds like you're just a coke dealer. Like the terminology you're using. Which leads up to my next question, Javier. So
I don't do coke. I like Coca-Cola.
damn, I almost got him.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Almost got him for my exposed video. But I was really gonna ask, but you kind of already sort of halfway answered it. But so currently, like, how does your brain work? Holy fuck! I thought we were just getting nuked by like South Korea or North Korea right now.
Net neutrality is already taken in motion.
Yeah, fucking Ajit Pai is destroying my house right now. That shit just. The fuck was that? That shit was just popping. I wonder if that picked up in the audio.
Oh shit, that was scary. So what's up?
That's my fucking train of thought.
How does my brain work?
Well, like, how do you go about kind of thinking? I'll give you an example. I'll start first, so that way you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, dude, don't say that 3 times or you'll summon him. So basically, like, so I sit down, right, and actually no, honestly,
you don't sit down.
I stand up. No, but like throughout the week, and I've noticed that I've been doing this very often for like as long as I can remember. I just recently started thinking about this last night when I was working, and legit, if I don't have like music going in my ear or something going in my ear, or like just something happening to keep me focused, is like I'll go into this just insane fucking just domain, I guess, in my head. And it's just like it happens a lot of times. I don't know if you guys ever notice it, but it usually tends not to happen if it's more than 2 people in the room, or if it's just like, yeah, if it's like 2 people with me, it won't happen as often. But if it's like 1 person, or if it's like a crowd, it might happen more. I don't know. So basically, if I'm doing something and you're speaking to me, like, I won't reply. Like, I won't even fucking listen. Like, it's not that I'm not listening, it's that I can't even fucking hear you at that point. Like, I'm so focused on this shit that I only see what's in front of me, and everything around me is just fucking gone. Or I'll be thinking of a million other shit to try to figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do. Prime example was actually when when I was playing Bloodborne when you got here, and I was extremely focused, but not to that extent. But there's this one time that I remember, I think it was like the first time that happened, is I was watching the Daredevil movie.
That's a good movie.
And my uncle was talking to me, basically fucking yelling at that point. And then I just like slightly like moved my head over, and it's just like a crowd of people just right next to me, and they're just like wondering like, what the fuck, why isn't he replying? And then he's like, well, and I was like, what? And then he's like, dude, I was fucking talking to you for like 5 fucking minutes, but you like were just so zoned in, and I was like, or zoned out, I don't know. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? I was like what the fuck?
I have had moments like that. I remember I was watching this one SpongeBob episode, and I was just laying in my couch, and then I wasn't really paying attention to the show. I was thinking about other things, and then my mom like was apparently trying to get my attention, so she shut off the TV, and I was still staring at that TV. Since I watched that SpongeBob episode a million times, I knew what was going to happen. So even though she turned it off, I knew that SpongeBob was going to go into the Bikini Bottom and try to find Plankton. So I remember just like, even though she turned it off for like 5 seconds, I could still picture what was going on in the SpongeBob episode.
Okay.
And I still wasn't paying attention to my mom.
Damn.
Until she slapped me in the face.
Okay. This is a
That's
story of abuse that will go on in episode 5. But
the tragic story. The tragic upbringing.
like, I don't know. It is. I need constant shit to pour it out, or else I'll just get super autistic or something. Like, I'll start freaking out. And, like, I don't know. I need to work on some shit. So, like, remember, like, I don't know, it was like a few episodes back when you're like, there's people that say they can't really do 9 to 5s. Or that say that 9 to 5s, like, are terrible and shit, but you don't really mind them.
I don't.
You don't remember that?
I do remember that.
Look at the archives. But
I was fucking here, motherfucker. Yeah, I do remember that because that's what accounting is. You work a 9 to 5 job.
Yeah, so pretty much I was thinking of that statement. I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up and I was like, Javier is wrong. And I was like, in autistic rage. I was like, oh, stop fucking doing that. I need to boost the audio each time. God. Damn it. So
I just picture you just woke up in the middle of the night and you were like
okay. I might edit that one out. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, fuck you.
Oh shit.
So
I don't think that's how it goes.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about this and I was like, the reason why I hate my fucking job is it's the same shit every fucking day, and there's never like a goal that is in front of me. You know what I'm saying? It's always get the day over with. That's the goal, and I really don't like that. I like to work for shit that's like the bigger picture, then that will lead on to bigger shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
so like the current shit that I'm doing right now will lead to the bigger shit. So.
I'm just the type of dude who understands that there are 24 hours in the day, and
I don't need to sleep more than fucking 2, okay?
Well, I just know
I use that time.
The way I see things is that every day you're going to do something, and that something may be productive, and that something may not be productive. Mm-hmm. Let's say, like, right now in my current day-to-day life is just going to work, and if I'm not at work, I'm at home, either on YouTube or on my PlayStation.
On this podcast.
Or on this podcast.
Giving us those sweet views.
But I would imagine that, I hate when I don't do anything all day because I feel like I could have done something else.
Yeah,
How does my brain work? I am constantly thinking of, if I'm doing something productive, I'm good. If I'm not doing something productive,
really?
If I'm doing something like studying, or if I'm like working on a paper, I feel good. If I don't do anything that day, and I know I could have done something, then that's where there's like this moral conflict within my head, is that this is a wasted day in my life. And if I, let's say 2 days out of the week, every single week, I don't do anything productive, that is like 100 days out of the year. That is like roughly 3 months.
Goddamn, that's
of me not doing anything.
Goddamn, of playing Overwatch.
Of playing Overwatch.
Climbing that SR.
Wait, would it be?
I don't fucking
100 days? Yeah, that would be 3 months.
Close to.
That would be, yeah, 2 days a week. There's 52 weeks out of the year. That's 100 days.
Fuck. Quick maths.
Quick maths. Math's not hot. But yeah, 3 months out of and then you think of that, then that means that's like 30 months out of a decade. And then you're just like, whoa, dude, that's like 2 years.
How are you doing this so fast? He doesn't have a calculator. How this is freaking me out.
Quick maths. And I just remember just thinking, like,
Javier rehearsed this before he got on here.
If I don't do anything, I just constantly think, this is how much time I'm wasting that. I could have been doing something that would have been more productive. And I always think of that after I leave school. Like, right now, I can excuse this behavior because I'm still in college. I'm in winter break. I've done a whole semester, and this is my month and a half reward of chilling. And but now that I think of in accounting, is my goal in life is not to remain an accountant for the rest of my life. I do one day open my own business, and what business I don't know, but I do want to
An
open
accounting
a
business.
An accounting firm. Why not? Just have people working for me.
A podcast
They're
firm.
accountants. Man, maybe if this podcast blows the fuck up, maybe I'll just do this.
Yeah, maybe if
full
you
time.
fuckers start subscribing.
You better start clicking on those ads, boys. But yeah, how does my brain work? I am constantly aware if I am doing something productive or not.
Uh-huh.
I am constantly aware if what I'm doing is leading to a life I want. I am always constantly thinking about everything that could go wrong. I'm always second guessing myself, and it's always bad.
Yep.
But I always try to just think, you know what? What am I doing right that I'm happy? And I am happy I am going to school. I am happy I can balance school and work. I am happy about all that. There are some stuff I would like to work on, but I understand that, you know, it's just compromise and everything, to be honest. That's how my brain works. I'm always constantly feeling down, but I also always look at the bright side of things.
You don't hold the knife to your neck.
I don't do that.
Okay.
Figuratively or physically, which one?
Isn't it figuratively the physically one?
I don't
Isn't
know.
that metaphorically speaking?
Figuratively for metaphor? I don't know. How am I in college?
Yeah,
Fuck.
get wrecked, son. So,
This is what happens when you go to community college.
yeah, this is what happens when you take a week off. So, yeah, going back to the productive day and then you feel like great. That's like the opposite. Is even if I'm doing like, I know I'm doing a bunch of shit that's productive, I still feel like, God damn it, I could have done fucking more.
Yeah,
And then,
that's to each their own.
That's when I whip out the second laptop and then I start. I'll like edit this shit while doing other shit while doing math. So how my desk is set up, it's an L desk. So I'll have a fucking
Dude,
a laptop.
you have an entire like section filled with fucking empty cans and fucking water bottles.
It's to keep me hydrated on these long nights.
There's like 6 fucking Dr. Pepper cans. What the fuck?
Well, I threw away all the energy drink ones.
Oh, Jesus.
So pretty much, I'm glad that on my crunch time days, which is like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, that Tim is not here. Because I swear to God, I look probably just like some fucking crazy coked out fuck.
I wonder how Tim's brain works.
Like it's, I don't know, dude. That's a tangent. We don't have that long of a podcast to go into that shit. But I'll have a laptop set up on my right side. I have one in the middle, and then I have a bunch of papers on the left, and I'll just constantly be swiveling fucking to the right. And I've like learned to at least decently use my left hand for writing and shit. Which is, I just use that for, like, college stuff. Who gives a fuck? So, I'll be doing homework while listening to this podcast for any time that these guys fucking say shit that they're not supposed to. And then I'll be editing, and then I'll go over here, do my shit, and then turn around, do that, stand up. I'll have shit cooking in the back. You know, I have food going on. I have music fucking also blaring while listening to this. And then I'll have just a bunch of shit, and it just looks like I'm getting nothing done, but I do finish all of it at the time of the matter. But it does look just fucking insane, I'd imagine, how I'm just constantly... Like, I'll speak to myself.
that's definitely not how I do it. I always, how I go, like, let's just say homework, I always just, whatever needs my attention the first, that is what I work on, and I work on that first. And it's always organized by due dates, so whatever is due first is what I work on
I go
first.
by points, whatever gives me the highest at this point, because if I've got, am I failing?
Yeah. Well, I guess you can do... Well, in my case, I don't worry too much about the points, just getting shit in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how my brain works. I don't know if that's the...
I think that's
how... That's how my brain works when dealing with, like, responsibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Another reason why this was brought up, so pretty much I went to my speech class, and for like the past 4 classes, there's this chick that's been going through some shit, and she was like, she just kind of tells me about it, and sometimes they're really good memes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say them because they actually get very, very, very fucking explicit and really, really fucked up. I'll tell it off air.
Yeah, we don't want to lose subs. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she subbed. She listens. I'm just kidding. No, she doesn't. But yeah, no, she was like, she just randomly asks me this shit, and I'd just be like, you know how like Max and Bobby, they talked about this before, and it was like how they instantly will go, or I don't know how to say it, not go away, but they'll like end conversation or like avoid this person if they like, if like in the first few conversations like they just kind of throw quote unquote their life story out. You know what I'm saying? I personally think differently. I think if someone that's just a complete,
so you're saying they
like they'll tell you their problems.
They meet this new person, and this person is very open about themselves,
Yeah.
and they'll tell them like deep stuff that you normally would hear from a person you've been talking to for a while.
Yeah.
Like I guess you could say the organic opening up between the two of them. This girl just opened herself up, not her legs. I respect women, but like her thoughts.
No, you don't.
I do respect women.
That's a different topic.
I respect so much women, I don't even get close to them.
Yeah, I don't even get laid, guys. They don't fuck me. That's how much respect I have for them.
I let them fuck me, not the other way around.
Damn.
But okay, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
I mean, they're both assholes, so.
Shots fired.
Do they know they're assholes?
I don't.
They know they're assholes. Max, you
Well,
know you're an asshole.
One of them owns up to it. One of them doesn't. We'll just leave it at
We'll
that.
let you guys decide.
Yeah, we'll let you guys figure out who's who. So I think of it differently. I think if someone wants to, if you're not really even that close, or like know them, and they want to open up, dude, fucking go for it. I'll listen to your shit. I find the human mind extremely, extremely intriguing.
Oh, you sound like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
Oh,
my skin is turning black. I'm getting mustache. But like, I find it really interesting, and I've always been interested since I was like a little kid. It was just like psychology. I could have been a psychology major, but that would require me to go to four-year college. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So pretty much, I'm really interested in just kind of people's stories and the way they tick, essentially.
Yeah, I would say I am more like you than I am to Max and Bobby. I do genuinely care when people tell me stuff.
Whoa! Oh, you're jumping the gun here. I never said that I cared.
Okay, well, I care. How about this?
Okay. Let me be more specific. Like, I don't fucking go back home and I feel heartbroken. I'm like,
Well, I
oh
don't
my
either.
god.
No, but
like,
in the
I don't
moment-
feel sympathy for them. I don't feel anything, but I will listen and I will help you out through it. As a human being and as a way for me to repent of all the evil shit I've done, it's the way that I cope with shit. And I also find it's kind of like a give situation, you know? They get some advice and I get some information on how human beings work. I know that sounds really weird, but like, fuck.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess whatever. I do show a lot of empathy, and sometimes
Javier,
when they do,
my brother had to teach me empathy when I was 19 years old because I didn't know what it was.
is that even a real word?
I thought he was fucking with me, and he told me to Google search it, and I watched 3 YouTube videos of what empathy was and how to perform it. I'm not fucking kidding.
Okay. Well,
so fuck you. Don't treat it as a meme.
I guess it comes naturally to me.
Yeah.
I do feel bad because I don't know. I think it's nice when people talk about their problems. Some people just act like nothing's going on, and then all of a sudden they shoot up a school.
I can't say that I've met those people, but yeah, I guess.
Well,
but one of the funny things that she told me that I actually kind of like audibly giggled, and that actually got her kind of like a little bit pissed, and it was when she was like, she has problems with like her husband, spouse. She's like
married.
She's like 23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, you know, I was about to go to sleep. She's like a nurse, and she does like double shifts.
Okay.
So she was like, yeah, I just came off of my second fucking shift. I go home, the house is just fucked up, littered, you know, the kid's crying, and then I just fucking just want to go to sleep after I put the kid to sleep, not like kill him, but like put him to bed.
Jesus.
And yeah, she's like, yeah, then I just lie down, and then my fucking husband comes up, and he's just like,
how unprofessional.
they can go fuck themselves. Anyways, it's just one of my hosts. But,
Shit. Was it Tim?
No, it wasn't Tim. I'm not gonna disclose who that was. So yeah, she was like, yeah, and then you just started talking about his fucking feelings, and then like, okay, dude, how I see it is like, guys, you have to be the strong ones, and you know, no girl really wants a guy that's not confident in himself and that like breaks down like that shit. Like we're supposed to do that and you're supposed to comfort us. And I was like, that's when I started laughing because, you know, our boy Tim. And like legit 2 days before that he told me and he was like, dude, the girl has to fucking comfort me. Like I swear to God, she has to be the emotionally strong one.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't be there for her. You know, like she has to be there for me. And I just start fucking laughing. And then she's like, what the fuck? What's the problem? I was like, nothing. I was like, nothing.
That, you know, Tim is an oddball. Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was just so fucking funny that it was like 2 days after.
It's like the complete opposite of Tim.
Yeah, and I was like, alright, well, fuck, you're not getting with Tim for aliens. But yeah, no, she told me a lot of shit, and I would just kind of give her my perspective and how I treat it. It's not so people like to hear what they want to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. So you'd be like, he's fucking wrong, and I'd be like, yeah, he's wrong. Let me tell you why he's wrong, and then I'd be like, but you should also consider that, right? That's how usually it goes. But how I do it, it's more I see both sides before I speak, and my overall like intake, it's a straightforward, no sugar coated added. Like this is straight up just anal at this point.
Oh,
like
God.
no lube.
Oh shit.
Like this is fucking. I'll tell you what the fuck is up.
I
know you don't.
Tonight.
I was like, dude, I know you probably don't even want to hear this, and I know this is probably gonna hurt your fucking feelings, but this is what's up, fam. And that's how I do it. And a lot of people don't like how I do that because it hurts their feelings. They suck my fucking dick, motherfuckers.
People always want to be right. And
Yeah.
They don't want to see. Yeah. Yep, I do. Yeah, take a step back and look at it from both sides. And it also helps if you're like not even related to any of them.
That's why I do like
this is almost a complete stranger, and you can view this
without any bias,
rationally and logically. Like this is what I see, and there's no way they can like.
I'd always give them this is what I do because I'm always right and I'm perfect.
Oh, that's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you have perfect genes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My genetics without a flaw.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was birthed in a golden chalice by the Pope himself.
Fuck.
Yeah. And I was blessed by every president of every country for being born just perfect.
Who am I to have you as the host of this podcast?
Well, that's why I'm the host.
Yeah.
That's why you're the co-host.
Who am I to be graced to be this?
Exactly.
What am I? Am I fucking what? A co-host? Oh shit.
Yeah, you're the co-host.
Oh god. Or I'm just a.
You're like the assistant, so I can rail on shit.
I'm the assistant.
Yeah.
That is just here.
Yeah, you answer my questions. So yeah, I just usually tell them like, okay, this is what I do. If you don't like it, then that's all I fucking got, boy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah, I'll fucking tell you how it is. It doesn't fucking matter. No matter who you are, I'll tell you what I'm fucking thinking. And it's really, oh yeah, there's this. We have to probably wrap this up in a little bit because we've been going on for like an hour 30.
Really?
Yeah, almost hour 40 here.
I felt like half an hour.
So, there's this interesting segment thing, and she was like, so, I don't remember the context of it, but she was like, yeah, a bunch of people told me not to date him because of his reputation with this shit, and then she was like, okay, so, and I was like, I don't really... So some of her questions, I was like, okay, this is really out of my level of expertise here. You know, like, I usually give advice of shit that I've, like, been through, or try to, like, rationalize, you know what I'm saying? So, Javier's currently choking himself. And she was like, okay, envision it this way. I was like, would you date a girl that has the reputation of sleeping around like a slut?
Hell yeah, boy.
Yeah, that's what I said. And then I started waving my fist in the air in a circle. but no, I was like, well, my reasoning was, okay, if I got to the point where I want to date her, and even though she has that reputation, is... no matter who it is, and if people are like, yo, dude, that person did blah, 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 that person did blah, 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 right? I'd still want to talk to them, you know what I mean? and that's how it always has been, and it's legitimately because those always are just rumors. They're always either over exaggerated, not true. Sometimes there's some facts true, but usually it's like I want to decide how I view this person from from the conversation I have with them. You know what I mean? Like I want to perceive them by myself, not by other people. And then she was like, "What do you mean?" And then I threw the banger out, and I was like, "Well, I'm kind of fucking hated by like everybody when I was in high school, and like at work, and like a lot of people." You remember he was like your manager or some shit. He fucking hated my guts. So.
Did he?
Yeah, remember Jesse?
Oh yeah, he hates you. Yeah. He hates you for a specific reason.
Yeah, well, always people hate me for specific reasons. Like I was just like, yeah, I mean my reputation, it's really fucking bad, and I was like, people hate, you know. And she was like, dude, that's so sad. And I was like, I don't need your pity. I was like, I'm not angry about it. And then she was like, how do you deal with it? And I mean, however, you have a pretty good reputation, so I can't really ask you this question.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't have a good reputation. It's just people don't know who I am. I'm very quiet.
Yeah, but so she was like, "How do you deal with that?" And I was like, "I just embrace it, honestly." And it's like I've now just recently started thinking about it, just because this was like, Jesus fucking Christ, Javier's killing himself right now. Oh, I see you're cosplaying Chester Bennington.
Oh, you cocksucker.
I get it.
Oh, you fucking cocksucker.
Getting ready for Anime Expo. So...
Too soon.
Yeah, no, she was like, how do you deal with that? And I was like, oh, fucking... There's a lot of things, and I'll name a few off.
Yeah.
So, people need someone to hate, you know? 'Cause they need someone to blame their problems on, or to vent, you know what I mean? Whether that be our current president, or like just famous people, or you know, they always need someone to just be like, it, you know, fuck you, you have all this shit and I don't. You know,
sounds like a feminism.
Me?
No,
what I'm saying?
Feminists hate men.
Oh, no, well, no, I'm just saying, like, people usually,
in general?
Yeah, people in general need someone to hate is what I've listened.
I hate Max. So
God, the man is gonna be listening to this in like a few days.
I guess it's true. I do hate Max.
I love you, man.
I don't.
He's lying. But
dude, he doesn't love you though.
Fuck. But I bought him a Switch. Or paid for it.
Bitch, he took that Switch and he's gone.
He was playing the game.
He's literally miles gone.
Yeah, no, he legit left.
He hates you.
Fuck you. He didn't even let me take him to the airport.
That is true. He doesn't love you.
God damn it.
Now that you have that revelation, keep going.
Fuck. So where was I? So yeah, people need people to hate. Another thing is like it spreads my name around, which is very nice. I think it's cool. It's like being a celebrity, but it's like
you're like in the blacklist.
Yeah, but I'm in the blacklist, and I think that's really, really awesome that people don't even know how I even look like, but they know my name. An example was this like kid that worked out where I currently work at, and he went up to Jaime and was like, "Hey, yo, I heard that there's this guy that named, you know, Francisco that works here." He's like, "Do you know him?" And then Jaime was like, "Yeah, he's right there." And then he was like, "Oh my god!" And then he just
You're real.
And then he like as if I'm a legend or something.
He just bows down.
No, he looked like kind of pissed.
Oh.
I don't know what the fuck I do, but whatever. And then like the other one that I've really just, the reason why I embrace it, that I've never really thought about until now that I've been asked, was it makes people stay away, and I enjoy it. So people stay away from me, which means that I myself don't get hurt by people. So it's like a win-win, you know what I mean? So instead of people coming up to me and being like, "Hey, I want to be your friend," they'll be like, "Oh God, that's him," and they'll walk away. So
I guess
always
that's a weird positive
Yeah.
way to look at things.
I always try to, if a person's being like overly nice, I always try to at least throw some assholeness so they'll just stay away from me because I know they're just gonna either, get angry or get hurt or I'll get hurt or something. Like this chick in my math class that was like
just throwing everyone down the bus now.
She was like, "Hey, you're that guy from my ethics class," and I just look up and I'm like, I don't know. And then I looked back down and I was on my phone or something. And then she was like, "Don't you recognize me?" I was like, insert name. And then I was like, I don't know who you are. And then I looked back down and then she's like, "I sit right in front of you." I was like, legit. And then she was like, "From 12:30 to 1:30." And I was like, "Look, I don't care who the fuck you are." And I was like, "Just leave me alone." And then she's like, "Wow," and then just walks away, and I was like, "Thank you. I'm sorry, but thank you." It's like, you won't like, I guess, how I am. Like, I instantly know that you'll probably just get butthurt over something that I say. So.
I'm the complete opposite. I've had people...
I'm still angry about the Snapchat person. I'm still rabid, livid of that shit.
Dude,
God fucking damn it.
No,
All right, Javier, throw one story, and we'll have to wrap this up.
Okay. Well, it's not much of a story. It's just I've had people just approach me and just be like, "Hey, you're in this class." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And it's usually... I don't know how it goes thrown around, but ever since high school, I've always had the reputation of knowing what I'm doing in that class. And because of that, people would always want to group up with me.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, I'm doing all the work, and they're on their fucking phones. But in college, it happened again. Only this time, people would just, instead of asking me to do their homework for them, they just actually ask for help. And I thought that was pretty cool because I didn't have that in high school. It was like, people knew who I was just because they knew that, I wouldn't say I was smart, I just had good grades. That's how I always viewed it. I just had good grades. Because it would always be the teachers just yelling. Like, I remember this one time in high school, it was like a government class, and Mr. Mish, like, called out my name because he was handing out the test. And then he called out my name. And, like, everybody was just talking amongst themselves. And then as he gave it to me, he was all like, "Oh, by the way, you had the highest scoring grade out of all my classes."
Damn.
And as soon as he said that, everybody just went fucking quiet.
Everybody just dabbed.
Everyone just went fucking quiet. And I looked at the test, and like I had like a D minus. Like,
damn. Are you for real?
No,
Oh.
But imagine though. Imagine.
I believed you for like a solid second. I was like, holy shit.
No, it was 100%.
Damn. Okay.
But I went back to my seat, and then like I had like Luis, like one of the twins, like he came up to me. He's like, "Yo, dude, did you really get like the best grade?" I'm like, "Yeah," and I showed him my test, and he's all like, "Damn!" And I'm like, "What did you get?" And he was like, "Shit, I failed that shit, dude."
I love the guy. I think he lives in Texas.
Does he now?
Yeah, I saw him last year during Black Friday.
I haven't seen him in a while.
And he just came up to me and he's like, "What up, faggot?" And I was like, "Who the fuck?" And I was like, "Luis." And I was like, "Dude."
He's such a chill dude. I remember he would always like, I'd always ask for pencils because I never had one. I remember he was such a chill dude.
Fucking funny and just like such a savage fucking way. Like he just says,
I don't know.
He says like one-liners.
Yeah, it's those one-bangers. And
yeah,
like,
and it just fucking kills you, and I love him. He's such a good guy.
Chill dude.
His brother Hector is also just the epitome. He's like, if you look up chill on Google, it will show up his picture. Like the guy does not give a fuck. Like you could do so much wrong to him, and he'll still just be like, "What's up, dog?"
Yeah,
like, he's.
I remember this one time he lent me a pencil, and then I forgot to bring it back to him, and then the next day I felt like shit. I was like, "Oh God, Hector's gonna be so pissed." And I remember I went to class, and I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry I didn't give you back your pencil." And he's like, "It's alright, dude." I'm like, "Can I borrow another one?" And it's like, "Yeah, dude." Yeah. And he gave me another pencil, and then I lost that one too.
And then he came back the next day.
I came back the next day.
And it's been happening for the whole semester.
He kept buying pencils, and I just kept stealing them.
Yeah, no, those twins, dude, they just
Pretty cool.
The chillest nutsack I've ever seen.
It's that what happened to Luis, though.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was a thing that we've been going on for long enough. You can cut this podcast in half and have a solid 2 podcasts.
I'm not gonna do that. That's too much fucking work.
Alright, outro us out.
I
don't know how this
think I was
works.
gonna say one more thing.
Oh, one more banger.
I lost my train of thought because you were talking. Well, we'll have that on the next episode, on episode 5, of a lot of mean shit that I say. We'll just have stories of mean shit that I've said.
Alright. What are
Alright.
you having?
Huh?
Where's the outro?
Oh, well,
always say my name.
I was about
Nobody knows my name?
Javier, I said your name so many times.
God!
So basically, thank you for listening to this extra spicy long Keck of the Week. We had some memes at the beginning of cheating. Then we went on to, I don't fucking know what the rest was.
We
but-
went back to the inner dimensions of the brain.
Yeah, no, it was. I
We
enjoyed
talked
it.
about a girl we would both love to respect.
Yep. Oh God, where'd you bring that part up?
Mm.
Yeah, I'd respect her. I've never spoken to her, like I had a full conversation,
I would respect the shit out of
but
her.
I think she is probably a good person, and I would pet her dog.
I would pet her cat. She actually has a cat.
Okay, so anyways, yes, the Keck, the spicy. Oh shit, the spiciest maymays. Yeah, this has been your host Frank and my co-host.
Jabs.
Why do you always just hesitate? All right, but anyways, we're
I
signing
get
out.
stressed.
Thank-
What's my name? Shit.
Thank you for. Wait, did I just fucking mute myself? Oh wait, no.
Was this whole podcast muted?
No, thank you for listening, and we're trying. I'm gonna cut that out.